right, so you're waking up in the middle of the night,
Yes.
struggling to get out of bed.
Yes, many Americans struggle with sleep deprivation, and it can affect so many aspects of our lives, right? We know this. Well, Tara Youngblood, she's a sleep expert and author of Reprogram Your Sleep. She's here with some advice to find out what is causing the disruption so we can get a better night's rest.
Please help us,
morning.
Tara.
I am so excited to talk to you because I suffer from anxiety right at that moment that I'm going to sleep, which then ruins the whole night's sleep, you know? So good morning.
It does, yes. Good morning to you.
So sleep deprivation means we're not getting enough sleep, but why? It's actually really dangerous.
It is. It is related to every disease of the elderly and autoimmune, memory loss, Alzheimer's. The list is pretty extensive. And when you think of our immune systems, we really need them today with COVID, this pandemic. We really need to be taking care of our bodies, and sleep is one of the best ways to take care of our immune system.
And I've heard experts, and I'm sure you can weigh in on this, say, you know, keeping a sleep schedule is really important. But to Dan's point, especially when we have to get up early in the morning, your thoughts are on, okay, I have a few more minutes till bedtime. I got to go to bed soon. And you're always on this clock. Or if you have a big meeting the next day or you have a lot going on, you're counting that clock to when you have to go to sleep. And there's that stress over, okay, will I go to sleep once I lay down?
Yeah, so I think one of the best ways to handle that is having a bedtime routine. But in addition to that, I love weighted blankets. So weighted blankets are deep pressure, and they can help give you an instant burst of serotonin, which helps that anxiety. But you also want to be thinking about that bedtime routine. You want to be about an hour before you go to sleep, kind of lock down that time and give yourself the space it needs. You know, if you're going to go work out, you get dressed to work out, you have things that you pull together, your water bottle, things like that. Sleep is really just like going to a fitness workout. You wouldn't want to show up without running shoes. And for sleep, you really need to show up with your right mental state, even just expressing gratitude, meditation. There's lots of apps out there, but you know, even just being grateful and peaceful for a few moments before you go to sleep can have an amazing impact on that anxiety.
What happens if that routine is disrupted, right? Because every day I say, okay, I'm going to be asleep by 10 p.m. and then something happens in the 9 o'clock hour. You know, there's an emergency or something, and you end up having to push it back. If you have children, your children are getting sick or something's happening. So what is a sleep switch, and what happens if you disrupt your routine?
Yeah, so sleep switch actually is related to your chronotype, which is a fancy way of talking about your internal body clock. And if you've ever been told you're a morning person or a night person or somewhere in between, then that is what they're talking about. And so that sleep switch wants to be turned on for sleep during that right time. And so when you do put it off, that is where you sort of suffer, especially on deep sleep and some of those quality metrics of sleep. But I think the most important thing people need to understand about sleep is 8 hours is an important metric to remember, but there's billions of us and we all sleep differently. And even years ago, prior to the Industrial Revolution, we didn't sleep all in 8 hours. We slept in segments, first sleep, second sleep. The siesta is around for a reason. So it's all about making sure you get enough sleep. And if you can't get it all at night because you've got kids, try to take time to take a nap in the afternoon. Try to make sure you're still giving service to that sleep part of your life.
Yeah, I'm trying to break the kiddos are waking me up in the middle of the night to go to their room only to come back to my room. But let me talk about designating a space to sleep, because we all know, you know, the bedroom is where we sleep. But now, because of COVID-19, a lot of people are working from home. Some are even working in their bedroom. You're at home all the time. How do you change your mind to think, God, I've been stuck here all day and now I got to go to sleep here yet again? That can be taxing on you.
It is. So, you know, if you're sharing that space with sleep, which is, again, really hard on that anxiety and stress meter, you still almost need to treat your bed. Goes back to the days when we were kids and we played Lava's the Floor. Your bed is a secret, sacred space. Don't do other things in the bed. So when you're in bed, you should be going to sleep. That'll also help you remind your body that this is what I'm supposed to be doing in that space. So in bed, don't watch TV, turn off those lights, try to be doing peaceful, getting ready for bed kind of stuff.
Don't watch TV in bed. What? That is un-American, Tara.
There's a lot of things that happen in a bed.
You're not supposed to drink before you go to sleep.
Well, some of those things may make you tired.
Oh, well, I see. I'm talking about reading a book. But listen, you know, for me, I'm like, okay, if I get 5 hours, that's a good night. I'm like, oh, 5 hours is a good night. Because you lay down, you're like, okay, if I go to sleep at this point, it's 5 hours. What happens if you don't get that 8? Real quick, before we bring in everybody.
Yeah, so 8 is a one size fits all, which really isn't true about all of us. 5 hours for some people can be enough. What we really want to be thinking about is deep sleep and REM sleep and quality of sleep. So if you're waking up in the morning and you're still feeling tired, or you get the tireds right after lunch, those are indicators that you're not getting enough sleep. So you need to find another way in order to be able to get a little bit more than those 5 hours.
Very good.
All right, let's bring in the gang real quick, because I know, Ben,
Tara,
you have a
you.
rigid and strict bedtime, right?
Yes, we are very militant in our house. Although my wife is a narcoleptic, but she can't fall asleep. She has a weighted blanket, and she just bought something called an Uller. Have you heard of this?
What's that?
The Uller, it cools your mattress.
Yes.
It's the
Yes,
strangest.
that is actually, I'm so excited to hear that. That's my product. So thank you very
Oh,
much.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
doing
thanks.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I gotta say, my wife loves it. We have to move it to her side though, because I can't sleep on a cold bed because I feel like I'm in an inflatable mattress and it's cold air. So I like to be bundled. I like it cold in the room, but I like to be bundled up.